in Brantford. Glad you're along with us. I'm Reese Dumaney. Your starting goaltenders for this one. For the Titans, it's Cohen Lesperance back between the pipes after getting Thursday off. He is 2-0, and this being game number 3 for him. Goals against average is even at 4, and that save percentage is at .905. On the other end, Caden Newton for the Hamilton Kilty Bees. He also did not play on Thursday in the Kilty Bees win over the Air Centennials. Game number 10 for him. He is 1-6-2, 3.31 goals against average, and that save percentage of .927. So you see the record, and then you see the rest of the numbers. That is just a sign of a team that's not scoring at the other end, whereas Newton's doing his job, keeping the puck out. In the neutral zone, Christie goes across to Jackson Cunningham-Lukes. Christie down with Cunningham-Lukes for this one. He played with David Buckman on the top pairing on Thursday in that win over the Welland Junior Canadians. And an errant pass will go for icing against Hamilton. Your referees are Cody Palm and Brady Fagan. Working the lines is Blake Wood and Laura Gutauskis. We are the only afternoon game today. Quick shot off of that face-off will go off the end wall. That came off the stick of Gauthier, who's got 4 goals in his last 2 games, including a hat trick a couple of Thursdays ago in Hamilton against these same Kilty Bees. That was a 4-3 Brantford Titans win as Mulholland got pressured by Meehan. A couple of players go to the ice in the near corner. Plenty of action still ahead. Everything else getting underway just after 7 o'clock Eastern. That'll go off the boards. David Buckman through the middle. Wicklander fanned on the clear in. So he'll just give it to Mulholland in the middle of the ice. He'll enter the zone. Mulholland drops it for Chase Bailey-Reed, who has one go off a stick. That's into the netting and out of play. That 5-1 victory for the Titans on Thursday gave them win number 6 on the year and win number 5 in a row. Won 6 of their last 7, this whole streak getting started here on home ice against the Air Centennials about 4 or 5 weeks ago. It's been one heck of a stretch. Karmanov off the draw. Backhand pass to Chase Bailey-Reed. His shot was stopped by Newton. And Karmanov tried to step up on his man, and luckily for Jake Bezimer, he was able to just get out of the way. Scriven in on the forecheck in the near corner. Couple of Titans battling for the puck. It'll go in below the goal line. Chase Bailey-Reed with a solid check on Marcus Sulug. That's off the wall. It's past Karmanov. They'll say it was deflected, so we continue. Lesperance back around that way to Karmanov. He'll move it ahead. Capel will receive the pass. Has Scriven going to the net. Tried to get it there, but Scriven just a little bit late arriving. And then Capel knocked Waycamp into the boards. Here's Cunningham-Lukes. Top of the slot. He'll shoot, and that is into the glove of Newton. And we've got a face-off upcoming. 2 minutes and 43 seconds into the first period. Still no score. Kilty Bees back in the win column thanks to a 4-3 shootout win against the Air Centennials in a game where they trailed in the 3rd period by a couple. Ferguson and Meehan getting them even before Meehan scored the shootout winner. It was the only goal of the shootout against the Air Centennials. In a game where we probably saw the save of the year in the GOHL, thanks to Cruz Resnick diving across to stop a shot where the 4x6 was wide open. He was well out of position, but he dove all the way across to make the save, and what a beauty it was. Christie tried to break through. He gets hauled down. He is still down, and he took a hack on the back at the side of the cage. Puck finds him below the goal line. He stands up his man. It'll go along the wall, and it's chipped out by Wojnicki, and that will go for icing. Just over 3.5 in. No score between the Titans and Kilty Bees. These two teams 8th and 9th in the Eastern Conference, coming into play on this Saturday afternoon, November 8th. Titans with 14 points, Kilty Bees at 12. Mulholland at the line will go off the boards to Caleb Frank as he avoided a check. Frank still with the puck. He's getting hounded from behind, so he's forced to rim it all the way around, and it goes to the far corner for Stippett. Now Chamberlain left it for Frank. That clearing attempt went off of big number 24, and he'll try and regain possession. Wojnicki there, couldn't get it away from Buckman, and then he gives the 16-year-old a shove. Frank to Mulholland. He'll shoot one right into the midsection of Newton, who is into the butterfly to make the stop. No second opportunity available for the Titans, so they'll take their chances with an offensive zone draw. Kilty Bees looking to get back on a roll. They've lost 3 of their last 5. Haven't been outscored terribly, though. It's only been 17-13 in that 5-game span. But one of those losses, as I mentioned, to these Brantford Titans. Sent through the middle. That pass by Grabovic was intercepted by Mulholland, and then it hit the helmet of one of the Kilty Bees skaters. Ferguson along the far wall, and that is another icing to the Kilty Bees. Give them 3 already, and we haven't even played 4.5 minutes as Buckman and Grabovic exchange words. Kilty Bees 2-5-1 away from Mountain Arena. Titans are 4-3-2 here at the Gretzky Center. It'll be Kim LeMay, Wicklander, and Gauthier out on the ice up front for the Titans. Kral and Karmanov, the defense pairing. One back by the Kilty Bees. That's Colmone that received the puck off the draw. Chipping it in past Karmanov was Burton. Lesperance back out to play it. Up the boards to Gauthier. And now he'll get it back and have a little bit of space. Gauthier into the offensive zone. He'll shoot one, and stabbing it is Newton. And it's another draw in the offensive zone for the Brantford Titans as we slowly make our way through the beginning of this first period. Shots 4-0 already in favor of the home side. Puck's up for grabs in the face-off circle. It'll be the Kilty Bees skating the puck out. Christian Glowacki led the rush. Lesperance back couldn't handle that, so he'll retreat to his crease. Caleb Frank looking for the puck. He fell over a leg. Chamberlain threw it to the middle. Cunningham Lukes is there. Push it ahead to Caleb Frank. Had a man in the middle, but he had to avoid a check first from Owen Meehan. Chamberlain was met by Reed. And now the Kilty Bees will look to reset in their own zone. Glowacki up ahead. That was off the stick of Meehan. Gavin Christie around his own cage. Pushes it ahead to Adam Stippen. Off of Chamberlain's stick to Caleb Frank. He tries to go back to Chamberlain. Frank got it back. He goes down as he fell over Newton, who was in position to make the stop. Frank with it in the corner. Cunningham Lukes at the line. Got a deflection. That's just wide. Frank quickly trying to tuck it near side, and he didn't get enough on it. It went by the cage. Cunningham Lukes. He gives it to Chamberlain, who backhands one deep. First one there, Javen Stewart. He'll turn away from a forechecker, and then his clearing attempt went off of Chamberlain. Goes all the way around to McSorley. Stippen's on him. Cunningham Lukes moved in also to keep the puck alive in the offensive zone. Stewart one more time near corner. He'll look up the ice. Can he clear it? Yes, he can. But it was met by Adam Stippen as the intended target was Meehan. Goes past the 6.5-minute mark. No score, Kilty Bees and Titans. That's off of Waycamp's stick all the way down. Lesperance back. Sent it around the boards to Hill, and now it's Chase Bailey Reed sending it right back that way. Hill at the red line, gets stopped. As the Titans make a change on defense, Kral and Karmanov fresh onto the ice. Karmanov rubs his man out of the play. That was Bessemer. Chase Bailey Reed off the boards to Kral. Tried to move it ahead to Scriven, just out of the reach. Campolo was there, and then a hard check on Waycamp by Chase Bailey Reed. You can easily tell Waycamp, number 12. I think they got him some black pant covers, though. He had the red ones on in the warm-up. He still got the red bucket. He'll come to the bench, and we've got our first power play upcoming. It will go to the Titans. As Gavin McAfee Rankin is guilty of a trip. So he heads to the box for 2 minutes or less. McAfee Rankin, of course, former Caledonia Corvair, now with the Kilty Bees off the draw. Buckman goes right back to Frank. Caleb Frank, top of the circle. That's off a stick. It'll go to the end wall. Gauthier got some help. Chamberlain back up top to Buckman. Back to Chamberlain. He keeps it just alive at the line. Chamberlain drops it for Gauthier. Mateo Gauthier. Down towards the corner. Looks to the middle of the ice. Doesn't have a passing lane. Decides to give it to Quinton Kim-LeMay. Back up top to Frank. Frank just inside the line. Out of that left circle. Backhand near side. Gauthier! And he gets stopped by Caden Newton. That's the exact same spot where he scored his power play goal from on Thursday. But this time he gets robbed by the left hand of the goaltender. Buckman will settle it down in his own zone. Drops it back for Gauthier. He works his way over the red line now into the Kilty Bees zone. Gets around one man, around a second, and he just can't tuck it home as he lost the handle at the top of the goal crease. Kim-LeMay up top to Frank. Near side to Gauthier. He'll go back below the goal line for Chamberlain. Back to Gauthier. Along the boards, down low to Chamberlain. Gauthier tried to go to the front of the net. That was closed off. Buckman over to Frank. He shoots. Newton in position to make the save. With 36 seconds left in the power play. Stewart looks to clear. Ends up being a pass, and then Kilty Bees can't get it out. Frank, now he goes to the goal, and Newton makes the save. Titans showing off the hands here on the power play, but they can't solve the Kilty Bees goaltender. Frank chips it by a defender. Into the offensive zone. Christie now onto the ice. Frank's pass got interrupted. And now it's out to center. As Colmone dumps it in, and that will do it for the power play. They had their looks, but the Titans go 0 for 1 to start their day on the man advantage. As Christie bumps his man. Scriven in deep in his own zone. Karmanov to Christie along the far wall. Now Adam Stippen tries to chip it ahead. Didn't get a ton on it, so Sulug tries to turn it back. Wicklander entered the zone. Scriven is stopped by Newton. Wicklander in the corner. Sulug's on him. Stippen in behind, looking for the loose puck. They still battle along the wall, and it's finally freed up. Near side, it's Grabovic. Karmanov got a piece, not all of it, but he slowed it down enough to force the Kilty Bees offside. 10-10 into period number 1. Still no score between the Titans and Kilty Bees. Already mentioned that this is the only game currently in progress around the Greater Ontario Hockey League. Coming up later on, London will visit St. Thomas. Pelham is in Cambridge. Caledonia Corvairs will visit Fort Erie. Stratford is in Kamoka. Sarnia takes on Strathroy. And then rounding things out at 8 o'clock, St. Catharines and Caledon. As Cohen Lesperance-Spack is forced to make a save, streaking into the offensive zone and going to the backhand. Owen Meehan as he looks for goals in back-to-back games. But he gets denied. Lesperance-Spack, had a pretty quiet day so far for him. As that's the first shot he faces. It takes just over 10 minutes for the Kilty Bees to get one on goal as they are being outshot 9-1 to start this hockey game. Puck ended up out of play immediately off the face-off, so we'll do it again. A couple of seconds tick off. Capel, Papel, and Matthew Owen out there. Mulholland on the back end to start the kill for Jackson Cunningham Lukes. Pepin. Stewart fires, that's blocked. Another try, ends up wide. Stewart, just inside the line, sends it to the far circle. Shot attempt was off a stick as Owen got in the way. Pepin was pressured by Capel. Capel still on him, and then Papel sends it the length of the ice. Drop pass, it's kept alive just momentarily though, and then Hill got stick lifted. Meehan fires, it was going wide, but Lesperance-Spack won't take any chances as he'll hang on. 56 seconds gone on the Kilty Bees' first power play of the afternoon. This is the last home game for the Brantford Titans in quite a while. They will not be back here at the Gretzky Center for a few weeks. Thursday, November 27th, with the St. Catharines Falcons coming to town. That will begin a two-game week for the Titans, both being here at the Wayne Gretzky Sports Center. St. Catharines on the Thursday, the 27th, and then Elmira in town on the 29th. Saturday afternoon contest. McAfee Rankin couldn't hold it at the line. Scriven tries to kick it to himself. He's offside though, and touching it is Wicklander, so that stops play. 32 seconds left on the Cunningham Lukes minor. That's 5 straight on the road for the Brantford Titans, and it begins tomorrow. 2:45 in Pelham against the Panthers, and then they will visit Strathroy 1 week from today. And then the last 3 road games in Caledon, in Cambridge, and in London. Just under 8 minutes to play here. No score between Hamilton and Brantford. Lesperance-Spack all the way around. It will come just inside the line. Long-range shot will miss the net. McAfee Rankin got bumped by his number 19 counterpart, and heads up. Quinton Kim LeMay having to duck out of the way. That should pretty well do it for the power play. Of course, Cunningham Lukes will have to quickly jump back into things or make his way to the bench to get that third forward onto the ice. It's a face-off win for the Kilty Bees. Stewart looks to shoot, decides to dish it off down low. Thrown to the middle, that's off a stick, and the Titans move the other way. Matthew Owen up the left side. Has Capel in the middle, tried to get it to him, but it went off a stick in behind the Hamilton net. Capel down to the ice, back to his feet now, up against Stewart. Forced to the corner. Stewart trying to get away from him, and he does so successfully. Quickly ahead, that's off the stick of Aiden Krall. Martin at his own line. Sent it back to Pepin. It's deflected into the Titans zone. Kral will go in behind his goaltender. Up that left side, Stippen stops it. Frank takes it. Pepin sends it near side. Swing and a miss in the corner. And now Pepin one more time. Started from out behind his own net, off of Kral's stick. He tries to settle it down. Martin's in there for Hamilton. They're going to say it's touched with a high stick. And that will stop play. 6:35 to go, period one. Face-off win for the Kilty Bees. Shot gets blocked. Caleb Frank off to the races, but he can't get there first as McAfee Rankin won the race. Sent in. Lesperance back to the far corner to Cunningham Lukes. He finds Gavin Christie. Caleb Frank got pressured. Waycamp threw it far side, and Lesperance back makes the save as he sees Hamilton for his second straight start. Mentioned him getting the night off on Thursday against Welland. That last start coming 2 Thursdays ago in Hamilton, where he made 33 saves for the victory. Again, in a game where the Titans trailed 3-2 heading into the final 20 minutes, and they scored the only 2 goals of that final frame to win it 4-3. Puck up into the air, into the neutral zone. Kim LeMay couldn't get by the defense. Gauthier follows up, and he found the iron in behind Newton. Exactly 6 minutes to play. As the Kilty Bees are offside, so the Titans will have a little bit of time to operate in their own zone. Cunningham Lukes through the middle. A bit of speed from that left circle. That's off a stick and into the netting behind Newton and out of play. Face off to the blocking side of Caden Newton, who has been very busy in the opening just over 14 minutes as we have another penalty upcoming. It'll be a hold. As the official who was parked deep in the Hamilton zone gets Chase Bailey Reed for holding. So the Kilty Bees to the power play for the first time, or for the second time, I should say. 0 for 1 already. It is a power play that is dead last in the Eastern Conference at just 7.8% coming into the game. They've only scored 4 power play goals so far this season, and this is game number 18 for Hamilton. Sulug sent it across. Lesperance back to save, and then it got poked away. Quentin Kim LeMay looks to clear. He'll get some help from Wicklander up the right side, and Gauthier gets forced offside as Kyle Burton just grabbed a hold of him and shoved him into his own zone. So a neutral zone draw upcoming in front of the Kilty Bees bench. Titans penalty kill, 9th best in the Eastern Conference, entering play, 75.8%. As play gets stopped one more time. Karmanov tried to send it around. It's deflected up and out, so face-off will stay in. Just 25 seconds gone by on this second Hamilton power play. Puck one to the wall, off of the face-off. Reed fighting for it. It's taken by Capel, though. And tried to get it to Owen. It was just out of his reach, but still does the job on the PK. Marcus Sulug hangs out behind his own cage. Dishes it off to Reed. He goes back to Sulug. Across the ice, that's Grabovic. Behind the Titans' net. Reed gets knocked out of the play. Sulug all the way across. Quick shot attempt is blocked off the stick of Glowacki. And Papel looks to clear, and he will. Newton out to play the puck, and he came near side, exactly where Owen went. Chamberlain will just circle back and give it to Scriven. He's got Buckman on the far side, and he will send it back into Kilty B territory, right to Pepin. 35 seconds left in this Hamilton power play. Stewart through the middle. He'll go up the left side now, enter the Titan zone. Stewart looks to the net, tries a sharp angle shot. That stays out, and then the rebound went right to Cohen L'Esperance back, and he halts play. 4 minutes and 3 seconds left in period one. Still no score between the Hamilton Kilty Bees and Brantford Titans in meeting number 2 in the season series. Kim LeMay against Reed on the faceoff. Clean win for Reed. Pepin to Stewart. Back to Pepin. He's pressured at the line by Wicklander, and then he turned it over right to Quinton Kim LeMay, and Pepin slamming his stick on the ice in frustration. Mulholland intercepted that from Newton. 3 seconds left in the power play. That will do it. We are back to 5-on-5. Sharp angle try. L'Esperance back, leaning up against that post. As the puck stays out, Wicklander backhands one to the corner. Then gets back in position. Got a piece of the puck, but it's still squirted out to the neutral zone and back into Titan territory. Buckman quickly ahead to Wicklander. He got a piece of it, but it went right to Stewart afterwards. Pepin up that right side off a stick. That will roll down for Mulholland. David Buckman now to Mateo Gauthier. His pass was intercepted in the middle, and it's sent right back into the Titan zone. Mulholland now in that far corner has Wicklander. Wicklander back to Buckman. Mulholland now. Didn't get a ton on that pass intended for Kim LeMay, as the two number 12s came together in the corner. Quinton Kim LeMay tried to get it to Buckman. That pass got deflected. Waycamp in the corner, looks to the middle, avoids Mulholland. As Colmone lost it at the blue line, Wicklander into the offensive zone, tried to go to Gauthier, but that was intercepted. Reed through the middle with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left. Reed cuts to the net. That comes all the way through. Martin now. Martin in the corner. In behind the net. Looks up top. Quick shot. And that is steered aside. Christie tries to escape the zone. See if he can do it second try. He will. As he passes it to Frank. Frank all the way across for Chamberlain. He'll send it in behind the Kilty Bees net. Glowacki along the near wall. Gets deflected all the way down to Cunningham Lukes. Gavin Christie to Chamberlain, who dumps it in. 90 seconds left in the first period. Still no score. Stippen with a hard check. Frank, far side, and fanning on the shot was Chamberlain. Cunningham Lukes moves in. Stippen now. The $1:14 on the clock. Caleb Frank, top of the slot. He'll shoot one. Newton the save, and the rebound is kicked out to the top of the circle, and the Kilty Bees come back the other way. Stewart will go off the wall. Grabovic couldn't pick up the pass. They wave off icing. Grabbing the puck is Papel now. To Caleb Frank, through to the middle to Papel. He's all alone in the offensive zone as his mates were changing. Owen and Capel will join him, but Papel trying to do it all himself. Got a good shot off, but once again, Caden Newton keeps the Titans off the board. Karmanov is able to get it into the zone. Owen over to Kral. Papel with a backhander past Pepin. Stewart now in the corner. Kral moved in. Couldn't get anything on goal, and that will do it for the first period. A lot of shots at one end, not so much at the other, but it doesn't make a difference because there's no score. The goaltender standing strong in the first period. We will step aside and be back for period 2 in a few moments. Welcome back inside the Wayne Gretzky Sports Center for period number 2 between the Brantford Titans and Hamilton Kilty Bees. I'm Reese Dumaney. Glad to have you along with us. The two teams skated through a scoreless first period with the Titans out shooting the Kilty Bees 11-7. No carryover penalties into this middle frame, so we start the second 5-on-5. Caleb Frank comes near side to David Buckman. His pass is deflected off of Gavin Christie's stick. Didn't look like he was on the right side of center, but they'll give it to him. He was close enough. Christie tried to keep it alive at the line, couldn't do so. In the neutral zone, Caleb Frank will circle back 40 seconds into the second period. Frank through the middle, gets hauled down. Penalty upcoming, both officials with their arms in the air. Buckman to the net, has Stippen coming just a little bit late. And the Titans to a power play early in the second. Brantford Titans power play is 0 for 1 so far. Had a power play goal in the contest against Welland on Thursday. They were 1 for 5. Power play is 7th best in the Eastern Conference at 20.7%. Gavin Christie at the line, goes across to Karmanov. He'll shoot one. That's off a stick into the netting and out of play in behind Newton. As for the Kilty Bees, their penalty kill is 7th best in the Eastern Conference, 80.6%. Coming into action, they've allowed 14 power play goals. The Titans have scored 17 power play goals this season. Leading the way in that department, Caleb Frank. He's got 5 of them. Karmanov comes to Christie. Christie back to Karmanov. Top of that right circle. Near side pass was behind Wicklander, and he just couldn't adjust, so it's sent down by the Kilty Bees. Gavin Christie was in a foot race up against Campolo. And then Christie stands him up. Got to let him go, though. Looks like they'll be all right. Official's arm stays down. Wicklander over the blue line. Leaves it for Adam Stippen. He gets hit by Waycamp. Caleb Frank put his arm in the air on the box, wanting a penalty there. Looked clean from here. He's got a better view than we do, though. Below the goal line, Scriven. Now to Wicklander. Wicklander moves up top. Gavin Christie now at the left point. Back to Wicklander in that left circle. Tried to send a backhander through the legs of the defender, but he was unsuccessful, and the puck is sent down. Titans will send out the top unit. Caleb Frank, Quinton Kim LeMay, Ryan Chamberlain. Expect David Buckman to hop on the ice along with Mateo Gauthier as soon as the Titans move up the rink. Caleb Frank will chip it in. Christie comes off. Buckman on for him. Kim LeMay to Karmanov. Now to Chamberlain. He comes to Caleb Frank. Frank moves in from the wall, goes down low for Chamberlain. Chamberlain has Kim LeMay in the middle, but the passing lane closed. Karmanov up top to Buckman. Back to Karmanov to Frank. Frank tried to force it through, and it's just out of the reach of Karmanov. Not many times we're going to say that. And that'll do it for the power play. Approaching 3 minutes gone in the second period. Karmanov kicks it to himself. Up to Quinton Kim LeMay, and he collided with a Kilty Bee. That was Tyler Grabovic. And now Buckman from the circle, pad save by Newton, and he kicks out the rebound all the way to the blue line. Meehan avoided that loose glove in the offensive zone. That shot gets blocked by Buckman. He'll feel it, but be all right. Papel over the Kilty's line, sends that one wide. Mulholland moves in, down low for Kim LeMay. His backhander was off his stick. Meehan sends it through the middle. Martin races after it. He's got some space in that left circle. Tried to throw it to the middle. Meehan was there, but the puck never made it there. Long range drive is grabbed by Lesbrant Spack. 8 seconds away from the 4-minute mark. Still no score between the Brantford Titans and Hamilton Kilty Bees. Shot advantage Brantford 12-8. Both teams now 0 for 2 on the man advantage. Off the draw, it's Kral sending it off the glass. Puck will bounce a little bit deeper into the Titan zone. Mulholland off the boards, intended for Capel. And it's sent right back to Hayden Mulholland. Has to avoid Waycamp. Waycamp knocks him down. Couple of stick lifts to the line. Stewart now to Pepin. That was deflected. Just wide of the cage, and then a follow-up shot goes all the way through the blue paint. Pepin with a shot that got blocked by Own. Waycamp through to the middle. Kral now with it in the circle, poked away from him. Waycamp in the offensive zone, lost the handle. And now Papel finds Matthew Own, who broke his stick. He's a little frustrated. $400 down the drain. As Gavin Christie goes back into his own zone, he'll avoid a forechecker. Christie through the middle. We'll leave it for Quinton Kimleme at the line, but he lost the handle. Fabry trying to break free, but it's poked away by Jackson Cunningham-Lukes. And now Fabry off on a change. Wicklander, nice pass to Gauthier. He'll enter the Kilty B zone. Gauthier, top of that right circle. Pass just ahead of Wicklander. Poked back to Christie. He'll fire. Newton the save. Wicklander from the circle, and Newton got that one too. Hamilton back the other way. He'll try to get set up in the offensive zone. Lesperance back will find it. A little bit of an old school stop before he got the glove on top of it. 5.5 minutes into this second period. We're still waiting for our first goal. Scriven with some help from Hill. 3 Titans are ahead. Hill off of Scriven's skate. Oh, a big hit by Chase Bailey Reed. My goodness. He just destroyed Bessemer into the boards. And now Buckman with it in his own zone. Karmanov at the red line. Got some help from Chase Bailey Reed. From the right circle. Got it through a defender, but then lost an edge and went down right in front of the blue paint. Buckman, he gets tripped up. Penalty upcoming to Hamilton. Titans are going back to the power play as a couple of bodies come together along the wall at the Titans bench. Sulug there. And it'll be McSorley that will sit for 2 or less as he got called for the trip. 2 minutes up on the board. Top unit out for the Titans. Kim LeMay, Gauthier, along with Frank, Chamberlain, and Buckman being the lone defenseman. Off the draw, it's Frank sending it up top to Buckman. Buckman back to Caleb Frank. Frank around Meehan. Had it poked away. Puck in the corner, and it's off of Frank, so he'll keep it alive in the offensive zone. Frank will leave it for Buckman. Buckman from the left circle all the way across. Gauthier fires in. He missed the net. Rebound to Buckman. From the left circle, he'll shoot. Tried to go short side, and that just missed. Gauthier back up top, and he lost the handle. It's back out to center. Buckman from the circle, his shot got blocked. Rebound went right back to him. Chamberlain off the boards to Buckman up top. His pass is deflected all the way across the ice. And now Buckman will come off on a change. Christie on for him. Gauthier rushes up the left wing. Stops at the goal line. Caleb Frank was right there. All the way across to Quinton Kimleme. Back to Gauthier. Newton the save. Caleb Frank in the corner now. McAfee ranking on him. Backhander back to the corner. Stewart was there. He rims it all the way around where Christie holds the line. Kim LeMay tried to chip it past Stewart, couldn't do it, and then it's sent past Christie and all the way down. 20 seconds left in power play number 3 for the Brantford Titans. Karmanov fresh off the bench, got the pass from Cohen Lesperance back. Karmanov to the net, lost the handle as he got to the front of the blue, and it's shipped off the hand of Christie, and that one hurt. Scriven along the far wall, penalty over, back to 5-on-5. Titans 0 for 3 on the power play. His pass intended for Wicklander got picked off by Ferguson. Now a couple of players aside, battle along the wall. Across the ice here at the Gretzky Center. 8.5 gone in the second, still no score. Titans and Kilty Bees, glad to have you with us here on Flow Hockey. I'm Reese Dumaney. Scriven tried to enter the zone, followed up by Stippen. Ferguson took it away. And now it's up off the wall. Karmanov held the line, and his dump in went off. It looked like the shoulder of Adam Colmone. Wicklander got it to Papel. Papel all alone in the offensive zone will just fire a shot on goal, and Newton makes the save. To halt play, 57 seconds away from the midway point of regulation time. Titans now with a 16-10 shot advantage. Papel down to Matthew Owen. Joey Capel went down. Cunningham Lukes at the far point. He'll bank it off the wall. Penalty upcoming to the Kilty Bees again. Matthew Owen lost the handle. Went right back to Cunningham Lukes though. He'll switch with Owen. Cunningham Lukes to the corner. Back up top to Owen. He comes to Crawl. Gauthier's the extra man, and he's got the puck. Gauthier down to the corner. He'll look out front. Still with it. Now to the near side of the ice. Gauthier all the way across, and Owen just couldn't handle it as it hopped over his stick. Owen to the circle. Up top, Cunningham Lukes. He lets one go, and Newton saw it all the way as he slid across to grab it with the glove. It is a trip upcoming to Hamilton. And the Brantford Titans once again to the man advantage for the 4th time in the game. Need a Kilty Bee to go to the penalty box first. Christian Glowacki will head off. Gauthier stays out there for the face-off, joined by the rest of the top unit for the Brantford Titans. Kim LeMay sends it back off the face-off to Caleb Frank. Frank has Buckman behind him if he wants to give it to him, and he does. Buckman all the way across to Gauthier. Down low to Chamberlain, back to Gauthier. Gauthier from the right circle, moves in, fired it wide. Comes all the way back to Buckman. David Buckman into the left circle. Will turn back, up top to Caleb Frank. Frank back to Buckman in the left circle. Buckman moves in, Newton the save. Puck is loose out in front, and they score! Caleb Frank, the first one to find it. With Newton down and out, the Titans break the ice. It's 1-0. Caleb Frank with his 6th power play goal of the season, and overall it's goal number 11 on the campaign for number 24 in white and gold. With 9:35 left in the second period, the Titans strike first. Off that draw, Buckman goes all the way around. Chase Bailey-Reed just threw it to the middle. Here's Tristan Hill. Titans onside, that shot turned aside by the blocker of Newton. It's past Buckman at the line, so he'll have to chase after it into his own zone. All the way across for Gavin Christie. Comes back to Hill through the middle. Tristan Hill over the blue line. Passes up into the air. See the hops by Scriven along that right side. Tried to settle it down. Christie now at the line. Buckman moves in, receives the pass. Threw it to the middle. That's off a body. Right back to Buckman. He'll go deep into the corner. as the Kilty Bees will look to exit the zone, and they will do so. Pepin's shot gets blocked. Crawl will push it ahead up to Chase Bailey Reed to Wicklander. Wicklander couldn't get around Pepin as he chips it off the glass, and that caught somebody on the Kilty Bees bench. So play gets halted, and the faceoff will be inside the Kilty Bees line. David Buckman, in 4.5 periods played with the Brantford Titans, now up to 4 assists as he picks up the secondary helper on Frank's power play goal. Kim LeMay adds to his team lead in assists. He's now up to 18, and he's got 11 of those on the power play. Karmanov with a shot, got deflected by Gauthier, and Newton in position to make the stop. Wicklander, Gauthier, and Kim LeMay with Karmanov and Crawl on the back end. Wicklander face-off win. Karmanov moves in, shot it off a leg. Gauthier off of Wicklander's stick. Gauthier again in the circle to Wicklander. Tried to go back to Gauthier. That got blocked. Pepin took it from Wicklander. Karmanov moves in. Gauthier follows up through to the middle. Wicklander's drive is off a stick into the netting and out of play. Titans attacking hard through the middle part of this second period, much like we saw to open this hockey game. It was a 9-0 shot advantage for Brantford until the 10-10 mark of the first period when the Kilty Bees finally got their first shot on goal. But to that point, it had been a very quiet afternoon so far for Cohen Lesperance back, and we're starting to see that again at this point here in the second period. Now, power plays don't help. Titans have had 3 power plays in this second period, so obviously you'd like to play a little bit cleaner. If you're the Kilty Bees, they come back the other way. That drive is just wide. Kim LeMay couldn't settle the puck down in the neutral zone. Pass off of Gauthier. He tried to whack it out of the air. Went back to him. Martin along the wall, knocked away by Buckman. He played that perfectly as Gauthier sent it out to center. Kilty Bees fire it right back in. Kilty is making a change. Buckman in the far corner. He will escape the zone. Quinton Kim LeMay grabs the puck. As Gauthier decides to keep it. Quinton Kim LeMay to the corner now. Wicklander was in down low also. But now Waycamp comes near side to McSorley. McSorley to the middle. Waycamp got checked from behind by Gauthier. And back come the Titans. Chamberlain with all kinds of speed. Tries to cut to the net. He gets hauled down, and he goes right into the cage on that far post. Looks like he just lost an edge trying to cut to the net down that right wing side. Five minutes, 56 seconds away from the second intermission. 1-0 Titans on the power play goal from Frank. Stippen giving some last second directions to Gavin Christie before we get underway as Stewart tries to clear it out. It's into the netting, and we'll do it again. it's a fairly busy game in fairly busy day in the world of sports in the city of Hamilton today, and I'd say luckily for Hamilton fans that this game is at 1 o'clock, with the Hamilton Tiger Cats hosting the Eastern Final in the CFL at Hamilton Stadium. Caleb Frank takes that loose puck in his own zone, pushed it ahead to Chamberlain. I almost called it Tim Hortons Field, knowing fully well that it's not that anymore. Chamberlain. There's still people around that call it Ivor Wynn. Christie just inside the line. Back to Chamberlain. Tried to find Frank, but it was intercepted in the middle of the Kilty B zone by Pepin. And now he'll lead the rush. Pass for Wakekamp was taken away. Now Ryan Chamberlain from out behind his own net. Adam Stippen right back to Chamberlain. He'll get to the red line, send it in on goal. Newton steers it aside and directed it right to Javen Stewart. Stewart avoided a check from Matthew Owen. Fabry sent it all the way across. Sharp angle try is stopped by Lesperance back. Back inside the line with 4.5 to go. It's rimmed around for Matthew Owen. On the left side of the ice. Papel in the neutral zone. Chips it in as he gained the red line. Up against McAfee Rankin. Papel battling. Owen there. Had Capel all alone, but it was deflected. Off of Capel's skate now. And sending it out was Wojnicki. Poked by Fabry past Karmanov. Up top, McAfee Rankin shoots it wide. Martin grabs the rebound off the boards. Back up top, McAfee Rankin. Shot got blocked by Owen. Ricocheted to Martin. Martin watched by Karmanov. Sent it in behind, just out of the reach of Fabry. Crawl ahead to Owen. Titans still can't get it out. Martin bumped by Karmanov. And now Papel takes it. His pass near side, out of the reach of Owen, and they're going to say the Titans were offside with 3:32 left in the second. Still 1-0 Brantford. Caleb Frank from Quinton Kim LeMay and David Buckman on the power play at 10:25, and that's been it. Titans up to 10 shots in this second period and 21 total. Kilty Bees with 5 shots in the second period. They've got 12. Kilty Bees will win that draw in their own zone. Mulholland, good recognition to move in. However, his pass went into a sea of black and yellow. Cohen Lesperance back to save, as leading the rush was Kyle Burton. And he will hang on for a face-off in Titan territory. Assistant General Manager Paul Zuck just dabbed here in the press box. I don't know how I feel about that. Shout out to Alec Murray if he's listening. Wicklander along the far wall. Christie follows up and sends it in just wide of that Hamilton net. Newton settled it down. He was taking it way back to, what was that, 2015? The bottle challenge, the dab. By the way, he got it on the second try, so not bad. Reed dropped it for Burton. Off a stick, and Lesperance back, looks in his glove. Might have to have something tied up at the intermission, maybe. Looked like Anthony Volpe fielding a ground ball for the New York Yankees. Luckily for Lesperance back, it did miss the net, and now it looks like he's got something in his eye. So that will delay play getting started again. Face-off win for the Kilty Bees, but it was 1-2 cleanly between Stewart and Pepin. Pepin's got it now at his own blue line, back inside the zone to Stewart. He moves it quickly ahead to Bessemer. That's off the stick of Lesbrant-Spack. Puck up into the air. Pepin having to rush after it. Gauthier was right behind him. And now Stewart being forced behind by Kim LeMay. Ferguson avoided Christie and then shot it wide. Wicklander grabbed the ricochet. Gauthier pushed it ahead to Kim LeMay. Chance for a 2-on-1, but it's broken up as Javen Stewart's stick was in the way. Buckman up to Wicklander. Buckman moving to the net on that left side, was trying to get open, but good coverage by the Kilty Bees in their own zone. Up that left side, Grabovic stops, looks for a man. Has his captain, McAfee Rankin. That was off a stick, in behind to Ferguson, and he gets dumped by Christie. To the slot. Grabovic's shot is blocked. With $1:13 left in the second. Sharp angle try will ricochet to the top of the zone, and here comes Caleb Frank. Frank stops. Threw it to the middle. Bounced away from Gauthier now. And the Kilty Bees send it down the ice, and that is icing against Hamilton. .50 seconds left. Chamberlain leans in. It's a Hamilton face-off win in their own zone from Luca Campolo. It rolls inside that Brantford line. Cunningham Lukes has to avoid the official. Waycamp. Into the near corner. Aiden Krall now. Quickly moved it to Stippen. He touched it through to the middle. Chamberlain now to Frank on that right side. Frank tried to go back to Chamberlain. Chamberlain goes after the puck, gets possession in the corner, tried to kick it to himself. Caleb Frank there also. Frank in the slot, gets hauled down from behind, and a penalty coming to Brantford. So a hook and a dive. Frank gets called for the dive. Christian Glowacki off for hooking. I would imagine that means we're playing 4-on-4. I doubt these will offset. We will play 4-on-4. Face-off will be to the blocking side of Caden Newton, who has been nothing short of spectacular in this game. Capel back to the line for Christie. Buckman tried to throw it to the net. That was blocked by Stewart, and then his pass got blocked by Buckman, and that will do it. So we will start the third period 4-on-4 through 40 minutes. It's the Brantford Titans 1, Hamilton Kilty Bees nothing. Back forth, period number 3 here at the Wayne Gretzky Sports Center. Reese Dumaney here. Glad to have you along with us. A couple of things to go through before we get back underway. 1 minute 2 seconds into this third period. We begin 4-on-4. Caleb Frank is in the box for unsportsmanlike conduct. Christian Glowacki in there for hooking as they both took those minors with 10 seconds left in that second period as well. That's primary assist on Caleb Frank's goal has now been awarded to Mateo Gauthier instead of Clinton Kim LeMay. So it reads Caleb Frank, his 11th of the year, from Gauthier and Buckman on the power play at 10:25. Titans with the puck in the offensive zone. This is Christie giving it to David Buckman. Buckman in the middle. Threw it all the way across. That's off Wicklander's stick and into the netting and out of play. Crawl on the right side. Will drop it for Chamberlain. Now Stippen. He tries to go to the net, but that was closed off by McAfee Rankin. Turnaround shot by Stippen was stopped. We're back to 5-on-5. Both guys out of the box. Caleb Frank quickly joins the play. He threw it to the middle into a sea of black. Up top, Karmenov winds up. That was blocked. Now Frank again will shoot, and that one steered aside. Karmenov winds up again, and Newton makes the save. This second period looking at, or this third period should say, start of the third period, starting to look a lot like the start of the game. Titans controlling the play. We're seeing the puck in the Kilty Bees end quite a bit. Now it's Martin out through the middle. Campolo dropped it, but Chamberlain took it the other way. Now here's Caleb Frank. He's got a step. Frank to the net on his backhand. Newton the save. Rebound was there. Chamberlain whacks at it. Tries to kick it to his stick, can't. Frank fires, and that was off a body and wide. Kilty Bees with 4 guys up the ice if they hurry. It's Campolo leaving it for Martin. He threw it all the way through, tried to find Campolo, but the long reach of Karmenov broke up that pass. Karmenov watched by Campolo. He just got in front of the Kilty Bees bench and fired it the length of the rink. Deflected into the Titans zone. Cunningham Lukes to Tristan Hill. Grabovic knocked it down. Puck went right back to Hill. And now in the middle, it's Chase Bailey Reed. Newton out to play it. McAfee Rankin through the middle. Now puck went off Wojnicki. Scriven back the other way. Up the right wing side. His backhander to the circle. Chase Bailey Reed had received the puck way too deep in the zone, so he didn't get a good shot off. Christie was stick checked, and then had to pick up the lumber off the ice. Scriven in the neutral zone, back to Hill. Now to Cunningham Lukes. He tried to cut to the net. That was stopped, and then he got pinned against the wall by Colmone. Christie at his own blue line, comes to Papel. Matthew Owen through the middle. Bouncing puck, he couldn't settle it down. Meehan gave Owen a hack. And now Owen will lead the rush. From the left side, Owen looks to the middle. He decides to stop and poked it back, but nobody was home. And it squirts back out to the neutral zone to Buckman. Off of Capel's stick. Newton out to play that one. Backhander all the way around. Buckman stops it. His shot is turned away, and the rebound, if someone in white is there, it's 2-0. That's just past the blocking post on the Titans net. Mulholland ahead for Capel. He couldn't handle it. Burton stops. Stewart shoots that wide. Burton again along the far wall. Sent it down low for Reed. Reed being bumped by Mulholland. Wakamp off the boards. Buckman finds it and gets it just outside the blue line, where Pepin stops it and sends it right back in. 1-0 Titans past the 5-minute mark of this third period. Just 2 points separating these teams in the standings here in early November. Mulholland wanted to leave it for Kim LeMay, but saw that he was covered. Now Kim LeMay got it in the corner. Karmanov got it by one man. That was Wakamp. Mulholland across. Ferguson now. He'll go in behind Lesperant's back. Up top to Stewart. He got a deflection, and Lesperant's back got a piece of it. Karmanov against Stewart. And now here come the Kilty Bees on a break. There's a stop by Cohen. Lesperant's back on the breakaway. Ferguson sent it in deep. Grabovic now. Pepin will shoot one. That stopped. Penalty upcoming. It is against the Titans, and it's interference. And it'll go to Karmanov. So he goes to the box at the 6:10 mark of the third period, and the Kilty Bees with a chance to tie the game on the power play. And they are calling a timeout to chat things over. Off the face-off, Krall goes around. And the Titans will clear it down following this Hamilton timeout. Reed will send it to the far side and go in on the forecheck now. Scriven with a backhander. Stewart stops it just inside the line. Pepin at the far point. What a pass to Meeum, and then he sent it to Reed, but he couldn't get a shot off. Now Stewart moves in. He waits. Burton. Pass was intercepted by Kim LeMay, who tries to backhand it out. Can't do it. Pepin from the circle, and that is stopped by Cohen Lesperant's back. Couple of quality opportunities there on the power play for Hamilton. They can't break through just yet. At the line, Stewart gives it to Pepin at the right point. Back to Stewart. Javen Stewart to that far circle. Lesperant's back to save as he stoned Ferguson. Meeum fires it high. Stewart able to get a handle on the puck. Got knocked off stride for a second by Capel. Burton tried to shoot it, and then he got hit by Capel. Still kept it alive, though, somehow. Ferguson now got knocked to the ice. Papel to the puck, and it goes down to our right. 12:20 to go in the third period. 30 seconds left in the Karmanov minor. Meeum lost the handle. Cunningham Lukes shoots it down. Glowacki will send it in. Lesperance back out to play it. Just out of the reach of Gauthier, bouncing puck out in front, and no shot yet. And then Lesperance back reaches out to grab a dribbler of a shot. And a halt play just as the power play expires. So the Kilty Bees are right on the doorstep, but they can't break through. Scriven wasn't even ready for that draw. It was won back by Campolo. This looks like Scriven wasn't set. Now he'll win it to Christie. Christie to Buckman, who finds Frank. He's ahead with Stippen. Frank fires it high. Rebound back out to the neutral zone for Buckman. Now to Christie. Back across to David Buckman. He comes near side again to Christie. Gavin Christie into the Hamilton zone. Stopped in the corner. Got it back to Scriven at the line. Back to Christie as he moved back up top. Got around Campolo. And he fires a shot that Newton saw all the way. With 11 1/4 to go in the third period. Still 1-0 Brantford. And the only game currently in progress around the Greater Ontario Hockey League. A ton more action upcoming later on. Everything else getting started at 7 o'clock Eastern or later. Off of the face-off, Glowacki tried to go in behind. He was met by Adam Stippen. Campolo lost the handle in front of his own bench. Nice job by Stippen to get around a defender and then find Frank. Frank fired a weak shot. Steered back to the wall. Stippen with a backhander. Scriven swung and missed. And the Kilty Bees come back the other way. Dumped just past the net, and then that long reach for Karmanov sent the puck the entire length of the ice. Fabry, top of the circle. He's stopped by Karmanov. Grabovic trying to follow up. He can't. And now Karmanov along with Frank up ahead, with Frank sending it down. Him and Grabovic exchange words. Grabovic was headed off and then he came back on. Play is stopped, and we'll see what comes of this. One person at least is being directed to the box. We'll see if both guys are. Looks like it. Grabovic and Frank will head off. Looks like both will get 2 minutes for roughing. And we'll play. The referee just directed it's going to be 5-on-4 for Brantford. So the extra minor to Tyler Grabovic. Titans are 1 for 4 on the power play. That's the only goal we've got. Well, now we've got 2 minutes each side on the scoreboard above center ice. But with 5 Titans on the ice and just 4 Kilty Bees. So they'll have to adjust that. And Wojnicki will come over to serve the 2 minutes. So yeah, I would imagine that's a double minor to Grabovic, and then just the 2 to Caleb Frank. We'll wait for the text message up from the scorer's table to confirm everything. But it's Stippen, Scriven, and it looks like Wicklander along the far side with Karmanov and Christie manning the point. As the officials are now chatting things over, Cody Palm, Brady Fagan, making sure we're all on the same page. Looks like we are. I saw a thumbs up. So we're good to go. Ferguson and Scriven on the draw. It's Wicklander sending it back to Christie at the line. Wicklander quickly shoots and Newton steered it to the corner. Christie along the wall. Comes near side to Karmanov. Puck is rolling, but he'll keep it alive. Christie quickly to Wicklander. He'll grab it off the boards. Send it down low. Scriven up top to Karmanov. Christie with a one-timer from the circle. Save was made, and he'll grab the rebound. Up top, Karmanov. Wicklander. He'll switch with Karmanov. Christie moves to the circle. Towards the net. Sharp angle try is steered away. Karmanov's shot is stopped. Wicklander able to get away from a diving defender. Wicklander now from the circle. Down low to Stippen. Back to Wicklander. He'll go behind the cage. Throw it out front, but with Karmanov moving down low, it was well out of his reach. 2 for roughing to Frank. And, yeah, a double minor for roughing to Grabovic. Karmanov held it at the line. Christie now with 16 seconds left on the power play. Newton the save, rebound, back up to Karmanov, and that's a blocker save, and then it rolled through the blue paint. Chamberlain gets bumped along the wall. 5 seconds left in the power play. Gauthier there too. Kim LeMay there in case of Kim's free. Gauthier now, he cuts to the net, and it's knocked away. Gauthier, quick shot, Newton the save again. Kilty Bees desperately need a clear, but they can't get it. Chamberlain, top of the slot, goes down to Kim LeMay, out in front. It goes all the way through. Chamberlain fires, and he missed the net. Gauthier, along the half wall, he'll move to the corner. Now in behind. This is a tired Hamilton group right now. Papel fresh off the bench. He shoots one. That's off a stick. And it rolls in behind. McAfee Rankin now. He's just trying to hold off Gauthier. Wraparound try. Hamilton looks to clear, and they get it. Karmanov quickly sends it back into the zone, and they are just offside as Kim LeMay couldn't get back in time. And now Frank will step out of the box. And Brady Fagan needs some assistance at the Titans bench. Looks like one of his skates is a little screwed up. They just need a little sharpening, or needed to potentially burn a skate lace or something. Be good to go. Face off right in front of the Titans bench. There's Glowacki sending it to the far side to Sulug. Matthew Owen off a skate. It comes right to Joey Capel. He goes all the way across. Buckman whacked at it. Was hoping to get it to Owen, but it was past him. Off of Capel's skate in his own zone. He'll backhand one out to neutral ice. Capel stopped it. Or that was Owen that stopped it. Capel following up with a shot, and it almost squeaked through Newton. Thankfully, it would have gone wide. But he quickly pounces on that loose puck before anybody wearing white got there first. 6 minutes, 50 seconds left in the hockey game. Titans looking to move to 7-8-2. And what would be their 6th straight win as they come into action today with the 3rd longest active win streak in the Greater Ontario Hockey League at 5. Long way to go to get to the next two. Elmira has won 11 in a row, and Cambridge, well, they still haven't lost. They are 18-0 to start the season. Burton sent it up top. McAfee, Rankin fires a drive that's blocked by Bailey Reed, and he appeared to be slow to get up, but he's good to go. Hill couldn't get to the puck along the wall. Buckman in down low. Now Chase Bailey Reed will, in fact, chip it down, and Newton out to play it before Hill could get to that loose puck, as he would have been in all alone. Shot off the wing, blocker save. Rebound right to Gavin Christie, and he'll lead the rush. Lone man in the offensive zone. Christie cuts to the net, lost the handle, and then he got dumped into the boards. He was already on edge as it was. That puck is hung on to by Newton with 5:53 remaining in the third period in this 1-0 contest. Battle of the 403, always a fun one to be a part of, whether it be here in Brantford, whether it be at Mountain Arena in Hamilton. These two teams, part of a 3-team race to the playoffs last year that included the Pelham Panthers, and it was these two clubs getting in. Martin was stick lifted from behind. Follow-up shot. Lesperance back made the save, including a Titans win on the final day of the regular season last year in Pelham. Helped knock out the Panthers and helped get the Kilty Bees into the postseason as they face St. Catharines in round 1. It was the Falcons prevailing, whereas the Titans taking down the Air Centennials in that 2-7 matchup. And a Game 7 2-0 shutout win in Air for the Titans. Gauthier down low. Looks for the puck back. It goes right to Caden Newton, who gets on top of it. And I mean, speaking of that, Air Centennials, Brantford Titans first round series last year, Caden Newton knows quite a bit about that one, as he was, of course, with the Air Centennials a season ago. Only appeared in one game in that first round against the Brantford Titans. The Titans going up 3-0. Of course, Air storming back to even the series at 3. And like I mentioned, a 2-0 shutout victory in Game 7. As Stippen tried to blow up Glowacki. More of a stand-up, or two guys just coming together. Crawl all the way around for Karmanov. Through the middle, that's off the stick of Frank, and it'll go just wide of the cage. And it's icing against the Brantford Titans. 4 seconds away from 5 minutes left in the third. Caleb Frank's second period power play goal. The only tally on the board. And it came halfway through the game, 10:25. Time of that power play marker. Gauthier and Buckman assisting. Off the draw, Glowacki sent it all the way around. Adam Stippen first one there. Got it past Campolo, out to the neutral zone. Glowacki sent it back in. Lesperance back to Aiden Krall, who couldn't handle it. Puck bouncing into the circle, and Lesperance back to save. And now Pepin in the neutral zone to Glowacki. Ahead to Burton, who was met by Karmanov. Krall in the corner. Chamberlain there too. Freed up to Karmanov. He's got a little bit of space. Stippen. Had to go off of his stick. Glowacki sent it to the far wall. Chamberlain. Waycamp there too. Stippen middle of the ice. Frank now. Lost an edge. And still did his job to get it to the corner. And then a chip shot is about 20 feet over the glass. And that halts play as it goes into the netting. 4 minutes and 6 seconds left in the third period. Quinton Kim LeMay, Mateo Gauthier, and Caden Wicklander. The forwards, Christie and Buckman on the back end for the Titans off of this draw. Christie able to hold the line to Gauthier. He'll decide to shoot, and that was stopped. Rebound to the slot. It looked like Gauthier was ready to dish it off to the far wing, but then saw a hole open up on Caden Newton. Just couldn't beat the goaltender. Christie in behind Lesperance back up that left wing side. He'll gain the red line now to the Kilty zone. Gauthier had that pass come all the way through. That's chipped ahead. Buckman knocked it down. Kim LeMay there also as he sends it up into the air to Mateo Gauthier. He's got Wicklander with him. Gauthier goes through the legs, tries to chip it short side. That was stopped. That would have been a pretty one to get the Titans up by 2 and get a much-needed insurance marker. Two number 6s collided in Christie and Pepin. Now Christie looking at his skate. Buckman makes a nice move. Threw it to the middle, and he got knocked down. Penalty upcoming to the Kilty Bees as Wicklander coming to the aid of 16-year-old David Buckman. Two Brantford Bulldogs prospects there, making sure they have each other's backs. As Grabovic is escorted to the penalty box across the ice here at the Gretzky Center. 2 minutes and 54 seconds left in the third period. And they might be discussing potential check to the head. They're going to call it roughing. Head coach Chris Gratton wanting an explanation from the official. Titans up to 41 shots in the game, and that includes 20 here in this third period to Hamilton's 9, and they've got a total of 23 to this point. Titans will look to potentially put the game away here with this man advantage. Kilties would love to just kill it off and then get their opportunity potentially with the goalie pulled. Buckman works his way to the circle, lost the handle, and then Stewart is knocked down. Yeah, he got hooked, so that will do it for the power play, and we will play 4-on-4 for a minute 41. It's a hook against Chamberlain. Buckman off the face-off. Will come to Gavin Christie near circle. His backhander was taken by Stewart for just a second as he moved up. Now to the middle. Ferguson is stopped on the backhand by Cohen Lesperance back. A turnover by Christie at the line almost resulted in the puck being in the back of the Titans' net. That's what the goaltender's for. Last line of defense. 4-on-4 for another minute 24. Grabovic in for roughing, Chamberlain in for hooking. It'll be a very, very short Hamilton power play once the penalty to Grabovic expires. Karmanov into the neutral zone over the red line, now into the Kilty zone. He'll easily work his way up that left side, threw it to the middle off a body. Stewart in behind, able to get it to Pepin, who stops. Minute 55 left in regulation. Ferguson over the line, has Burton. Kral got his stick in the way, and that's up into the netting and out of play. 56 seconds left in the Grabovic minor. Off the face-off, Stewart just inside the blue line. One-time shot is stopped. Knocked out of the air. Meehan now. Goaltender to the bench. We're playing 5-on-4 in favor of Hamilton as the puck will get out to the neutral zone off of Stewart's hand, so it's a hand pass against the Kilty Bees. 1:32 left, and that should force Newton back into the net. It will. Mentioned it off the top, going through Newton's numbers, you're thinking, how the heck is a guy 1-6-2 when he's got a .331 goals against average and a .927 save percentage? This is a prime example of why. You only give up one, but you've got no goal support whatsoever. And for the Kilty Bees, they're in a territory now where if they are going to win this game, it's probably going to be 2-1. As Glowacki tries to force his way in. Newton to the bench. Extra attacker back on. Gauthier will chip it out. And it will go just wide of the cage, and that is icing against the Brantford Titans. Kilty Bees have already used their timeout earlier on in this third period before they were about to be on the power play. So that's not an option. Titans still have theirs. Ferguson, the centerman, out for this face-off, up against Quinton Kim LeMay. That is chipped out of the air, or in the air, past Sulug. Kim LeMay at the blue line. It's now 6-on-4 for another 16 seconds. Reed dropped it inside the line, threw it to the front. Ferguson deflected it just past the blocker of the goaltender, Lesperance-Spack. Crawl with a backhander. That's past Stewart. Gauthier will race after it. He lost an edge and went down. It's now 6-on-5. Neum had it taken away by Wicklander. He just threw it to center. Kilty Bees are way offside, so they got to wait a ton of time to re-enter the zone as Reed is met by Wicklander. Buckman looked at the empty cage. Smart play to go to Karmanov. He lets it go. That's off the outside of the post. With 8.3 seconds left, an offensive zone draw upcoming for the Hamilton Kilty Bees in a one-goal game. Ferguson on the face-off for Hamilton. Frank for the Titans. Ferguson wins it. Pepin shoots one, and that's just wide. Gauthier is going to have a look at the empty net, and he will miss. However, time expires. 6 straight wins for the Brantford Titans, and 7 of their last 8. This team is rolling as they beat the Kilty Bees 1-0 here at the Gretzky Center. It'll be a while before we chat again. Next home game that we'll have for you is on November 27th as the St. Catharines Falcons come to Brantford. Caleb Frank scores at 10:25 in the second, and that's all the Titans needed to take down the Kilty Bees. 1-0, your final.